Hi, and welcome to Chamber Chat, a partnership with WIMPAG, Western Oregon University, and the Monmouth Independence Chamber of Commerce and Visitor Center, featuring our chamber members so our community can get to know them better both professionally and personally. Joining me first today is Emily McNulty, who is the MaMere's guest house innkeeper. Thank you, Emily, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So I know you're new to the community. You recently became the MaMere's guest house innkeeper. Why here? Why the Monmouth Independence community?
Yeah, it's a great question. So my husband and I are originally from Alaska, from small towns, and we lived in Corvallis for a while, and we were looking for a place that was a little bit smaller, but really loved that college town feel. And Monmouth certainly fits the bill there. So we moved here about 4 years ago, and when we first moved here, I got to know the previous owner of MaMere's, Terry Gregory, and just started talking with her, and the stars aligned, and she was interested in selling, and we were interested in buying, and that just continued to help us put roots here in the community.
Nice. So I know I've gotten to know Terry over the years since I moved here as well, and super outgoing, very fun, just really warm, engaging person. And now you get to have that same kind of relationship with the community as you're the innkeeper at MaMere's, and you'll have the opportunity to get to know more and more community members, and you'll have the guests, obviously, and the people who are coming in to wine taste or whatever brings people to our area. And that's just got to be a lot of fun.
It is. You know, I think, and we've been in Oregon for about 7 years now, and Monmouth, as I said, for 4 years, and we just have explored and tried to get out there, and I'm so excited to share the great features of our community with our guests. And already we've been the owners now for about 6 weeks, so we're pretty fresh, pretty new, but we've had such amazing people from all different walks of life, and that's just been a lot of fun to get to know them and then also help them get to know the area.
So speaking of our area, what do you think is something that really makes the Monmouth Independence area unique or just stand out?
Well, everything, it's location, 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 right? I think, as I said, the small town feel, the community, university town, but also the fact that it's easy for us to get to the coast, it's easy to get to the city, easy to get to Bend or Cascade Mountains. So I think that's one reason we really like this area, and not to mention, of course, the wonderful vineyards as well, that and biking trails and hiking trails and things that you can do within just a 10-minute radius of Monmouth.
Yeah, it really is a nice central location to have access to so many things. There's plenty to do here directly in the Monmouth Independence area, Polk County, but like you said, the coast, the Mount Hood,
absolutely,
not that far.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say so far, and it may not be with MaMere's because 6 weeks, but what's been one of your greatest professional accomplishments?
So in my previous life, my background is in public health. I worked for Samaritan Health Services in Corvallis, and as a part of that job, I really had the opportunity to work with different communities and help bring them together around common issues. And I think we had a lot of successes really abound getting grants to help build walking trails or improving the built environment of communities, helping improve immunization rates in the area. And so I just really feel like some of my professional wins were just working with other people and helping engage them around common goals.
So working with Samaritan Health in the Corvallis area, outreach to the community, now the innkeeper, the owner of
Very different track, yes.
So what would you say has been some of your, within the 6 weeks, what's been one of the greatest challenges? Because we already know it's been very warm in the sense of just the 6 weeks of the people you've gotten to know. So we've heard so what's been one of your bigger challenges?
Well, I think, this is a challenge, but also it's a real opportunity. I mean, we have huge shoes to fill in Terry leaving, and we've had a lot of repeat guests already that know her, and so just trying to live up to the expectations and bar that she set. But I think we're there. I think we're able to do that, and it's great to have her in the community to help propel us forward as well.
So tell us about MaMere's. I know I've stayed there when my husband was interviewing for the job that brought us out to Oregon. That's actually where we stayed.
Oh, great.
So we've been there, and then when we moved, we stayed there again until we could get into the more permanent residence. But so tell me a little bit about MaMere's. Like, what all do you feature at MaMere's?
Yeah, so we are a bed and breakfast. So we rent. We have 6 rooms that we rent as a bed and breakfast room where you could just stay nightly and breakfast is included. We also rent the whole house, and we have a 1-bedroom apartment as well as a vacation rental. And so it's great, especially for local families, to think about for family reunions or weddings. And then we also have the carriage house, which is yesterday we actually hosted the Monmouth Business Association meeting. It was a great opportunity. So it's sort of this blank slate of a space that is great for retreats or staff meetings or community meetings of different types. And our goal and our mission as a small business is to work with other small businesses. So where we can, helping feature them. We actually have an open house coming up at the end of October, so we hope that people come and start to take a look at some of the small changes we're starting to make, but also help celebrate the Howell House's 125th anniversary, which is very exciting. And we have a local vineyard that also will be there as well, doing some tasting. So again, just trying to make those connections with other businesses in the community is part of our mission.
So for those who may be familiar or not familiar with MaMere's, you're on Knox Street, so you have a really nice central location right off of Main Street.
That's
Well,
right.
not right off, but close to Main Street. Definitely walking distance for folks to get to downtown Monmouth. The campus is just a couple blocks the other direction. So you have a really nice location, and it's a very colorful house. It stands out.
It does stand out. Yes, it's bright blue, and we're right next to the brand new amphitheater in Main Street Park, which is great. So next summer, it'd be a great spot to hang out in our courtyard and listen to the wonderful musicians that we have coming in the summer. Location is everything. It's great. You can walk to Crush or Yeasty Beastie and just walk back to your room.
Yeah. So now, what about one of your greatest personal accomplishments?
One thing, and probably the most important thing in my life right now, is I'm a new mom. So I have a 1.5-year-old Olivia at home.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And one of the great things about moving into this new role as MaMere's innkeeper is I get to be home with her a little bit more often. So we got to take advantage of the library story hour and different events like that. So I would say my greatest accomplishment right now, personally, is just being a mom.
Right, and watching her grow. So a year and a half?
A year and a half. So she's small and feisty and a big personality for such a little body.
Aw. So when looking at the Polk County, where do you see some possible opportunities for people to come? Like when they come and stay at MaMere's, you reference the vineyards and the hiking trails and the biking trails. So if someone said, I've got about half a day to spend, what would you possibly recommend for them to do?
I think it definitely depends on the time of year, right? We have some great events in the community, from the 4th of July festivities to the tree lighting here at Western Oregon. So I definitely would try to connect them with some of those unique opportunities. I think if you have a half a day, though, I definitely would recommend the vineyards or checking out the Rogue hop fields and biking as well. I think there's a lot of opportunities, but those are some of the highlights.
Okay, because I know obviously we're the chamber, but also the visitor center. So I get those phone calls of people saying, "What can we do when we're coming in? My so-and-so's interviewing for a job, or dropping the kid off at campus, or something." So what can we do for this hour? And that's definitely a question I'm assuming that you'll continue to get as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Start having your go-to answer of this is what you say. So now also with the change of, you said you're from Alaska, from small towns, and you come down to Corvallis, then you've been in Monmouth for a few years. May I ask, what brought you from Alaska?
Sure. It was actually for me to work on my master's degree at Oregon State at the time. And our intention was to go back to Alaska. So we had the plan just to come down for a couple years and return. And we just fell in love with this area and we decided not to leave. And we have purchased a home and now a business. So we're certainly putting our roots down here.
Definitely have some roots going.
Yeah, for sure.
So what would you say is a skill or an interest or a hobby or something that you have that might surprise people?
Well, one thing that our family really enjoys is geocaching, which is essentially big kids scavenger hunting, although you can take littles as well with you. And so there's apps where you find out different coordinates and then you go find little treasures that are hidden all over. And we certainly have some great spots even in our own community to do that.
What's the most interesting treasure you found?
Oh, we have found money actually in the caches. We found money and candy bars. I would say those are some of the highlights.
And is that where if you get something, you put something back?
Exactly. Yes,
Okay,
that's the plan. And people usually have a tag name or something, and they sign a log. And,
I've heard about people doing that, and it's another great way of getting people out just to explore. And I personally haven't done it, but I have talked to some who have. And you find this beautiful spot that otherwise you wouldn't know existed.
Right.
Some off of a trail or something, or maybe it's somewhere more in a business related, more commercial, and it's a way just to get to know the community.
It is, and even just to discover like local parks that maybe you haven't been to before. So I think it's a great opportunity for us, even in our community, to think about how might we help bring other people into the area.
And there are a good number between Independence and Monmouth. There's a good number of parks that are pretty well utilized, but they can always, I'm sure, be utilized more.
Right,
And this would be
right.
another opportunity for that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of watching the Pokemon Go craze.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, so your open house is coming up on
It's October
2 weeks?
23rd. It's a Sunday, and it's from 2 to 6 p.m. And we'd love to have people come. We'll have snacks and goodies, and again, just an opportunity to see the house from top to bottom and explore, and also meet the new owners. So my brother and I are managing MaMere's together. Eli, our parents own the property, and then Olivia, my daughter's the official greeter. So there's a good chance you could see 3 generations of our family when you come visit, and you will for sure at the open house.
So definitely, if people have never gone into MaMere's, you've seen that, you're curious, this is a great opportunity to come in and check out, so that when you do have your relatives who want to come and visit but not necessarily maybe stay with you,
right?
Here's the opportunities that you have at MaMere's. Here are the different types of rooms, and the rooms are all unique in their features.
They are unique. Terry had a New Orleans theme, and we're slowly deviating that from a little bit and going towards more of a Pacific Northwest theme.
Yeah.
So I would say even next year when we have an open house, it may look a little bit different.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah, so I think it'll slowly evolve, but we're certainly trying to put our stamp on it and also honor the great history of the house as well.
Nice. Well, Emily, thank you so much for your time. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
you being here.
Thanks
and
for having
welcome
me.
to officially being the business owner in our community. You've lived here for a while, but welcome to the business side of things.
It's certainly opening doors now being a business owner, so it's great. We're happy to be here. Thank you.
Congratulations. You're welcome. Hi, and welcome back to Chamber Chat. Joining me now is Heather Thomas, who is the Valley District President for the GFWC Polk County Service Club. Thanks, Heather, for being here.
Thank you for asking me to come.
So, GFWC Polk County Service Club.
Correct.
Lots of words and letters there. Why don't we start by getting you to explain the GFWC part and then going over into the Polk County Service Club, please.
GFWC are the initials for the General Federation of Women's Clubs, which is the oldest and largest women's organization in the world. Not
Wow.
just in the United States. They started back in the 1800s. At one time, we had 30,000 clubs in Oregon, and they built all the Carnegie Art libraries in Oregon. So General Federation Women's Club has been around a long time.
Wow.
Polk County Service Club, we changed our name to Service Club in order to encompass men. We have men in our organization who help with, and they just have to believe in the ideas of what the General Federation Women's Club stands for, which is women's rights, children's rights, and elders' rights. So that's one of the things we look at when a person joins the club. We changed our name from Independence Women's Club to Polk County Service Club to encompass all of Polk County, feeling that being such a rural county and not a large populated area, we needed to help all of the areas of Polk County.
Nice. So, how long have you been involved in this club?
My mother hoodwinked me. Back in 1987, she was going to be state president in 1994.
Okay.
And before that, I was a member of the American Business Women's Association. And when she hoodwinked me into it, she wanted me to be her corresponding secretary, and I had to be a member for at least 4 years in order to be on the executive board.
Okay.
And I got involved in it, and with all the volunteer work that they do for the communities, I love it, and that's why I've stayed in it.
So that's, you say 1994, in my mind, that's not that long ago, but you start doing the math and, well, it kind of is.
Yes, it is. It's quite a few years ago.
Yeah, sadly. So what are some of the service projects, some of the tasks that you do with the club?
Okay. Well, currently, our signature project for our club is we are providing the necessities for foster bags that are given to children that are transitioning into the foster care program. When they leave their homes, usually they are given a bag, which is a black bag, told to throw in as much stuff as they can and get out of the situation. So what we're doing is we're providing the hygiene items, the underwear, the toiletry items. We're providing them homemade pillowcases so they have their own pillowcase to take wherever they go. These are bags. These bags are large. I mean, huge. We were really surprised because they were supposed to be backpacks, and then all of a sudden they were opened up and they were big bags. So now we provide towels, and once in a while a person will donate a homemade blanket, which we are providing to the children. Our ages that we are going for are from 10 to 17. The DHS indicated to us they get so much for those that are the younger
ones, right?
And it's the older ones that need the special care, and so that's the reason why we've gone with those ages.
And that seems to often happen with other nonprofits that focus on helping children. You get a lot of outreach for the small ones, but
Correct.
not always for that middle school, high
That's
school
correct.
age range. That's
And-
wonderful that that's your focus.
Yeah.
To help that age population.
We also help promote Stable House. Domestic violence is a signature project of the General Federation of Women's Club, and they now provide a scholarship at the national level for a person who has gone through domestic violence or domestic abuse. And so if anybody's going through that, they might want to look on the site and see
For the
that.
Stable House, which
Yeah.
is based in Dallas, but does
Correct.
serve all of Polk County. And here on Western Campus, there's the Abbey House that has a strong connection with Stable House as well
Right.
for that same kind of outreach. So
Right.
great. Now, as far as your location, you're located in Independence.
1 block away from the theater.
Yep.
For any of those that have gone to Independence Cinema, you've probably gone down 3rd Street and passed right next to our building. And it is an old historical church. It was built in 1868. We moved it to our site. We bought it for $1, and we had to move it 2 miles, and that was in 1927. None of the men in the family would help. So the women took it upon themselves to get a loan, and they did all the aspects of moving it over. And it's been at our site since 1927, and it's been our official clubhouse. The clubhouse says Independence Women's Club on it because that is historical. It shows 1914, that was when they were formed. Officially, they formed as the Civic Improvement Club of Independence, and they did a lot of civic improvement because Independence in the early ages was a stock yard. And so it needed to be cleaned up. The women decided they were going to go and make these men and businessmen be responsible for cleaning up. They helped form the Independence Library, which they donated the land on the front of their building. And they were instrumental in the architecture of it. And then last year, we just donated the library back
Right.
to the city to be used for educational, literacy, and art program. And that's what they're using it for right now.
So for those who may not have been to the actual building
Right.
where you're housed, it is part of the Ghost Walk each year.
Correct.
For those who have participated in the Ghost Walk, you may have been past it, or but it's a great opportunity to get on the inside to see what it looks like on the inside. There's always that curiosity factor, right, of seeing something from the outside.
Yeah.
So that's an opportunity event. So let's go more on the personal side. What would you say is, obviously you're very passionate about the service
Volunteering.
club and
Yes.
volunteering and the community outreach. So what would you say has been one of your greater personal accomplishments?
Probably being a second generation state president. My mother served from 1994 to 1996. Sadly, we lost her in 1998. Then in 2008, I became state president, and I served for 2 years. And my sister, who is currently, Laurel Jones, who is currently the president of our local club, will be serving as state president in 4 years.
Wow, so it's definitely
So,
a family trait here.
yes,
so I'm
yes, it
hearing.
is. The other thing I am passionate about is reading and animal care. My project for my state project was therapy dogs. And we had some great participation in helping with the therapy programs that were going on in Oregon. And I still believe in that, and I know that there are a lot of clubs that are still passionately involved in Canine Companions for Independence, the guide dogs, and also Dogs for the Deaf, which is down in Central Point. So That's a passion of mine.
So what would you say has been one of your greatest professional accomplishments?
I really don't have a great professional,
Okay.
other than I'm a good organizer and I have insight into different things. You got to realize, in my workforce, now I'm retired or semi-retired. I worked as a claims adjuster, so you really can't say that there's any great accomplishment other than in helping a person. Maybe one of the personal things that I did when I was in the professional services there was down in Medford. I got a call on December 24th. We worked half a day on December 24th from a gentleman down in Medford. He says, "I'm watching my house burn." I said, "Why are you calling me? Didn't you call 911? He goes, "Yes, I called 911. Well, we have somebody who lived in Eugene. He took the time out of his life to go all the way down to Medford and give him a check for $4,000.
Oh, wow.
So he could buy the presents for the children, also put them into a home until after the holidays and when we could reassess
and
everything."
so
Yes.
the holidays better.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that to me was
Priceless.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. So last question, very quickly. What is a skill, a hobby, or an interest you have that would surprise people?
my skill is not there. I'm not like my sister, who's a poetry writer, or like my dad, who was an author. I am really an avid reader. I can grab a book and I can read it in a day because it's just something that I can't do. I can't put a book down. Once I start reading it, it's got to be finished.
Nice.
And my husband goes, "What, are you still reading?"
Yep.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. I want to finish this book.
So that's probably the biggest thing.
So thank you, Heather, for being here. The Women's Club, the Service Club, Polk County Service Club, obviously a huge, important part of our community.
Correct.
I'm sure you know, people can be members. You can learn more about you, and go by and see the building. So just thank you for helping to educate what you do, and thank you for being part of the Chamber Chat.
All right. Thank you very much for inviting me.
right.
I really appreciate this.
Oh, my
And so
pleasure.
does my club.
Great.
My sister, when I sent her a note yesterday, she said, "Yippee!" So that tells you something.
Thanks, Heather.
You're welcome.
Hello and welcome back to Chamber Chat. Joining me now is Bruce Rodgers, who is the Chief Administrative Officer at Salem Health West Valley Hospital. Thanks, Bruce, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So let's just start off. What exactly does Chief Administrative Officer mean?
So, Chief Administrative Officer is the title for the Chief of West Valley, essentially the CEO of the hospital for West Valley. But when you're part of a bigger system, you can't all be CEOs, essentially. And I report up to the CEO, well, actually the COO of the Salem Health System. So the Chief Administrative Officer is essentially the CEO of that small entity.
Okay, so what was West Valley Hospital.
Correct.
You now have gone through the official name change,
Yep.
new logo, new image, new everything.
Right.
So you are Salem Health West Valley.
An OHSU partner as well.
So what does all that mean besides a new name?
So beyond the name, I think what it means is that you're seeing the system that is behind the hospital itself, and I think what you're seeing is that kind of strength that you get from being part and affiliated with a larger system, and so you're seeing that commitment of Salem Health West Valley and to Polk County as a way of connecting all those pieces all the way up through now into OHSU partners. So Salem Health West Valley is Salem Health, part of that system, which is now affiliated with OHSU partners, and you're getting the strength that comes with that.
So more name recognition and the security that people feel when they have that kind of recognition?
I think, name recognition for sure, but I think, there are symbols, there are standards for quality that come with those pieces with OHSU. OHSU probably itself has one of the most recognizable brand names in the state of Oregon. And so I think you get those pieces, and Salem Health has become kind of a leader in lean management as a community hospital. We have also set lots of bars on the quality side as well. So that's what you're kind of getting. You're getting that connection, and also, the understanding that this hospital is a place that's going to stay there, and there is a commitment there to local and community access to services.
So Polk County, obviously a more rural community.
Correct.
But yet we have a hospital, an actual hospital.
We do.
In our backyard. Well, for us here in the Independence Monmouth area, it's our backyard.
Yeah, our backyard, right.
It's in Dallas, but
Right.
it's not that far. And so that's a great service to have. I know at the chamber office, visitor center, when people are looking to move to our community, that's often a question that I'm asked of what kind of medical facilities do you have? And I say, well, we actually have a hospital. And like in
With
Salem.
an emergency department.
Right. I'm like,
right?
well, yes, there is. Salem has a hospital too, but no,
Right.
we have one in Polk County. And people are sometimes very surprised to hear that.
Oh, they absolutely are. And then, that's part of what kind of our message is that to let them know, let folks know that are in Polk County, is that you can access, there is this safety net, this hospital that is in Polk County accessible. You don't have to go over the bridge.
Right.
And, when the big earthquake comes and the bridge is down,
Right.
you will have us, and we will be there for you to provide services. So that's I think that gives the people a real peace of mind.
Yes. So now, what would you say, Bruce, has been one of your greatest professional accomplishments?
I think professionally, as an accomplishment, is generally been when I've been able to help develop others into, especially when it comes into positions of leadership or be able to have impact on patients and community. I've been fortunate to develop a number of leaders within our organization. And also provide training and development for those folks. But I think it's the teams, for me, the greatest accomplishments I've had have been able to kind of develop people and put together great teams. And I think I'm always of the belief that it is the team that's going to give you the real strength. So the better the team you make, the better we're going to be able to execute and provide care, execute on operations, come up with innovative ideas, take waste out of the system. So those are really my greatest professional accomplishments.
Having that stronger foundation, and then from there you can
Absolutely.
do the other outcomes that you want, but having the strong people.
The people to do it, right? So I'd be more about putting together those teams of people versus some specific things that are about kind of what I've been able to achieve.
So what would you say personally has been one of your greatest accomplishments?
I think personally, being in this role has been a great accomplishment, both personally and professionally, and just the ability to kind of connect with the community and be there for a community and provide leadership for a hospital that is so important to the community along that line. That has been very meaningful to me. Outside of that, about a little over a year ago, I got my MBA.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And it was from OHSU. PSU has a joint MBA program, so it just so happened that I was in the program before our affiliation started happening with OHSU. So that's been a great source of accomplishment.
Yeah, MBA.
MBA.
So, yeah.
Western Oregon, by the way.
Nice plug. You've been in the Monmouth Independence, Polk County area for a while now. What would you say is really something that kind of makes our area unique or stands out?
I find myself continually impressed about the understanding of kind of people within the county, of kind of what their commitment is to service to the community. And when you've been, for me, when I lived in Portland for a number of years, and there are a lot of great people doing a lot of great things in Portland, but the understanding of your neighbor about that commitment to community is something that really stands out for me as I've been out here. So it's been wonderful.
I like that answer. That's a lot of there's always the people connection, how friendly we are, but the actual understanding of community.
Yeah.
I have to quote you on that one somewhere. Now, Salem Health West Valley has been a tremendous partner member of the Monmouth Independence Chamber of Commerce and Visitor Center. A huge supporter through sponsorships and just supporting us as a whole. What would you say is some of the greater membership benefits for you?
I think for us, it's the ability to connect with the community. I mean, I think that with the business community, and that there are networking pieces, there is exposure, there's kind of getting your name recognition out there, but it's also just a matter of, I think that the Chamber, Monmouth Independence is just one of those great opportunities to connect into community, make sure your name's out there, also be able to understand what the needs are. And I think you have an opportunity to get really great feedback via the Chamber.
Okay, so I know you've submitted some photos, and apparently one of the things that you like to do is you have fun and interesting socks.
Oh, yes,
apparently.
yes. Yeah,
would you say that is a skill or a hobby or interest that you have that would surprise people, or is that just common knowledge at this point?
I guess it's surprising to, I think that the thing that surprises people is that I'm willing to, I'm easy to buy for, and I will take about any sock that people give me, and I'm willing to wear them as long as within a certain realm of taste, and it's pretty wide.
So why socks?
If you've noticed, when you're in a kind of leadership position, and for men dressing, you get, what are your opportunities? I wear a suit almost every day. There is, sometimes I wear a tie, sometimes I don't. There's probably some ability to express yourself there. And I like the simplicity of all that, but I think socks gives you a chance to actually express personality and actually have fun with that. And I also think that it helps for people that it helps me connect with people in general, because they always want to see what my socks look like. And they get a lot of enjoyment out of that.
So you have a very serious role. I mean,
you're
running a hospital.
You are.
And that's a very serious position. But it's nice to have, I guess, the little splash of fun as well.
Well, I think it's important to take your roles and responsibility seriously. Yourself, you don't need to take it seriously. And I think that, it's easy enough, you're wearing a suit all the time to just the outfits that we wear and the roles, and I'm going to meetings and I go back and forth to Salem on a regular basis. I think that this affords, the things like that help break down any barriers too, because it could serve to distance you from staff and patients along that line, and anything I can do to help, I think is a good thing.
Super. Well, so what socks are you wearing today?
I got some cool ones.
They're very colorful.
Yeah, look at those. I don't know if they can be seen through here. It's a little...
Well, Bruce, thank you so much for joining us for being part of Chamber Chat, and for the impact that you're making on the community with everything the hospital does, the support that you give to the community. Just thank you for being part of all that.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
All right.